Hello, my name is Q Moss. I will be teaching you ways to raise your child. You're pregnant. The sperm and the egg have met, creating the cycle, the inner cells, the embryo. In 5 weeks, this will turn into a fetus. Be born in 9 months. Prenatal care is very important. Prenatal care is health care while you're pregnant. It makes sure that you and the baby are healthy. Checkups with doctors can spot problems early in the pregnancy. It can also give you advice to start a healthy life with your child. Things that you should do are eat a variety of healthy foods. Make sure you get a good diet. Make sure you get all the nutrients you need for that day. The nutrients will be sent through the placenta to the baby. Other things that you should do are make sure you gain a healthy amount of weight. Get 2.5 hours of aerobic activity. Make sure you spread that out during the week. Do not do it all at once. That'd be unhealthy. Make sure you get a good amount of sleep. Make sure you get your intake of folic acid. Folic acid is important during the early stages of the pregnancy. Make sure you're informed of what's going on with you and your child. Avoid teratogens. That would be things like smoking, drinking. We'll get into that on things that you shouldn't do. You should make sure that you get your flu shot. Things that you shouldn't do are get an intake of teratogens. So you should avoid smoking, drinking. You should also avoid x-rays. You should always make sure you don't stop or start meds without asking your doctor. Avoid fish with like high levels of mercury and avoid hot baths. A personal example of why you should get prenatal care is my friend Belly. My friend Belly's mother did not go get her regular checkups with the doctor, and they did not know that there was a problem with an umbilical cord wrapped around his body in some odd way. So instead of getting that solved early, they had to get a late C-section to get things worked out. Alright, section 2. The birth and care for newborn. There are 3 trimesters in pregnancy. In the first trimester, in the first 4 to 5 weeks, the brain and the spinal cord develops, the heart begins to form, and the arms and legs start to appear. After 8 weeks, major organs begin to form, the heart beats with a regular rhythm, and arms and legs grow longer. Eyes also move to the front of the face. In the 12th week, nerves and muscles are working together, and you can see if it's a boy or girl. In the second trimester, there is a complete skeleton, all the bones are formed. The skin begins to form. The baby starts to make sucking motions with his mouth, the sucking reflex. That is all after 16 weeks. After 20 weeks, you'll feel small kicks. The baby will be covered in protective hair called lanugo. Eyebrows, eyelashes, fingernails are formed, and the baby can now hear and swallow. After 24 weeks, the taste buds are developed, the fingerprints are developed, the baby can start growing hair on his head, the lungs are formed but don't work, and the baby sleeps and wakes. After 32 weeks, the bones are fully formed, they're soft, the baby can produce forceful kicks. The lung practices breathing motions but don't actually breathe yet, and the lanugo falls off. After 39 weeks, the baby is considered full term and is ready to be delivered. They usually go into a head down position, and the babies are usually 6 to 9 pounds and 19 to 21 inches long. There are 2 different ways that the baby can be labored, birthed. The vaginal through the vagina and C-section. The baby is taken from the abdomen with surgery. What to expect? It's not uncommon for baby newborns to have bruises, misshaped heads. They might have hair, they might not. I had a little bit of hair when I was born. They will be covered in a thick white pasty coating that protects the skin and the womb. Their face will be a little bit puffy, could be wrinkly. They might have small white bumps on their face. All that is pretty common. Babies getting attached. Babies get attached from physical contact, so cuddle a lot. Let them get to know your voice and the way you sound, so they have something to get used to. They're also born with a couple different reflexes. Crying. When they're uncomfortable or want something, they would just cry. It's just natural. The second reflex is for feeding, and the rooting reflex. When something's put around, like the corner of their mouth, they'll automatically put their mouth around it and just start sucking, because that's what they're, I guess, rooted to do. I guess it helps them with their feeding and making sure that they get fed. Babies also have habituation, as when is you react less to something each time. So like the first time you turn off the lights in a room, a baby might not be used to it and they might wiggle around or cry even. But after they get used to it, understand that it's just a thing that happens, they'll react to it less. A couple different ways to comfort your baby are make sure you provide physical comfort, make sure they're burped, their diapers changed, they're in comfortable clothing, stuff like that. Calm the baby with the sound, maybe sing them a song or nice little tunes when they like to hear. Distract the baby with toys, take their mind off what's bothering them. I know rattles are used a lot. And the fourth one, just cuddle with the baby. Just be there, hold them, rock them. That seems to soothe a lot of babies. So section 3, development of self. In this section, we talk a lot about nature versus nurture, which is the environment versus biology. When talking about a person growing up. So an example of that is like, will a baby become a genius because of the genes they've been given or because of the environment that they have grown up in? With that, both have a lot of effect. Some have effect on certain things, like being an introvert or extrovert. That is more of a thing based on your genes, because you're an introvert or extrovert when you're born. That's just something like the way you are, and both are needed in the world. A quote from Susan Cain is, when it comes to creativity, introverts are needed to do their thing. There are a couple different definitions of intelligence, how smart a person is, how much a person knows, their mental capabilities, which include memory, learning, perception, decision-making, thinking, and just overall understanding. A couple of factors that influence intelligence are heredity, the prenatal environment, and the home environment, and the peer environment. The factors, heredity. Having certain genes may make you have better or worse memory. You might be able to learn things easier or harder. Your perception might be different. Decision making, thinking, all that stuff. Your prenatal environment. If you have a not so good prenatal environment, it might affect you, and you might have a disability or something of that sort coming out of the womb that affects your intelligence level in the long run. Your home environment. People around you can affect your memory, your learning. If you're learning at home, then you'll have better learning capabilities than someone who's just not learning at home. The same thing goes for the peer environment. If you're out there with your peers and they're learning, you're all pushing each other, you'll have better mental capabilities than someone who is not learning. Also, in the development itself, there are a couple different stages. When you're born, you will have infantile amnesia. People can't remember anything past a certain age. It's because your hippocampus hippocampus is not fully developed, so you can't really retain those memories until that is developed. That's all part of maturation, which is the biological growth of the human body. Also, there are also a lot of different personalities. A couple ways that different personalities might develop is home life, peer environment. All those things can contribute to the person that people become. Heredity can also contribute. Two big examples are introverts and extroverts. Introverts are more quiet and like to be alone, and extroverts are more outgoing and like to speak aloud and be with large groups of people. And just depending on the type of person your parents are, the genes they pass to you, the people that you grow up with will affect whether you are an introvert or extrovert. I personally am an extrovert. I've grown up all my life as an extrovert. I love to talk. Section 4, cognitive development. Cognition is all mental activities associated with thinking. So cognitive development is the development of mental activities. So cognitive development is important because it'll help you form skills you need throughout your life. Piaget had a theory of different stages throughout the life. The sensory stage, ages 0 to 2. Babies take in the world through their senses and actions. They don't yet understand or have the concept of object performance, which is when things exist when they're not thought of. The test for this is have your child put a puzzle together. If they use a piece, you find out that it don't work, remember that it's still there later, and they think that it can be put to use with that piece, they will have realized object performance. Stage is the pre-operational stage. They're able to represent things with words and use language, but not comprehend mental operations. The age is 6 to 7. They don't understand the conception theory that the quantity remains the same, even if it's in a different shape. For example, like a ripped chicken nugget. A test you can use for this is rip a chicken nugget in half and see ask them how many chicken nuggets there. They should answer 1, but if they don't understand the concept, they'll say 2. Symbolic thinking, the ability to use symbols to represent things, pretend play, and egocentrism, the difficulty to perceive something from someone else's point of view. They also have not achieved the theory of mind, the ability to have own beliefs, but then go and understand someone else's beliefs. Third stage is concrete operational stage. It's from ages 7 to 12. The child's able to think logically, understand conservation, and inductive logic. Next stage, the child will have achieved the theory of mind. So a test for this is asking them their beliefs and then asking them someone else's beliefs and what that means. If they answer correctly, then they achieve theory of mind. The last stage is the formal operational stage, which is 12 through adulthood. One is able to think abstractly, achieve theory of mind, deductive logic, and hypothetical problem situations. They're able to think of solutions to those in their head. A test for this is you come up with a hypothetical problem and ask them to create a solution. And if they answer correctly, they have achieved the formal operational stage. Vygotsky differed from Piaget. He believes social development theory argued that social interaction precedes development. Consciousness and cognition are the end product of the social interaction. Talking about cognitive development, schemas also come up. Schemas are like categories, and kids assimilate, which is like interpret things into those categories. For example, dogs, four-legged animals. A kid will say it's a dog. It might see a cat, see its four legs, and then put it in the same schema as a dog and say it's a dog. But later on, it will accommodate or adjust their schema and realize that the cat is not a dog, but it's a cat, and we'll have two separate schemas for dogs and cats. I personally used to think that dogs and cats were the same until I realized that they weren't. Developmental disability is a chronic condition that's due to a mental or physical impairment. It can affect language, mobility, and learning. It can be caused from genetic factors. It can also be affected by environmental components to certain conditions. Vygotsky also believed in zone of proximal development. It was the distance between a student's ability to perform a task with guidance of another and actually doing that task by themselves. That goes scaffolding. Scaffolding is when an instructor demonstrates an exercise or a problem-solving skill to teach students, then the instructor will leave the students to do it themselves, and then they will only help them when necessary, so that the student can overcome the zone of proximal development and be able to do the exercise by themselves. Section 5, language development. Alright, so what you should expect from your child's language development. When they're infants, they'll produce gibberish. They're starting to remember words you say and trying to make them out themselves, but all they can produce is gibberish. As they get older, they'll recall words they don't really understand the meaning. But as they get older, the stuff from that is they will understand the meaning of the words they're saying. 2 points that demonstrate that language is from nature is language is an evolutionary process passed down by a language gene that all humans receive. And then it's also natural that we can communicate to get the things that we need. From the nurture perspective, we're learning new slang language from hearing it from other people, and then we also learn new words by reading them, studying them, etc. Problems that can occur in a child's language development: mild and temporary speech delays, hearing disabilities. Those can set a child back from language development, not being able to understand what others are saying or get what they want to communicate across. That could be a problem. Strategies to help your child develop language: use facial expressions, gestures. Those will help what you're talking about get across easier to a child, because the words you're using they might not understand completely, but facial expressions are more recognizable. Offer different ways to communicate, like a tablet or something, just that way you can just mix it up and they will become more developed as you go along. Offer times for them to just talk and tell you how they feel, so they can get across what they need to get across and learn how to express their emotions and to say what they need to say. And make sure that you're using complete and understandable sentences and not words that are too big for someone of that age to understand, and not slang that is hard to understand. When I was younger, my dad used to use really big words that I didn't understand, and it took me a really long time for me to be able to talk to him, especially because I just couldn't keep up with him. Alright, section 6, social and moral development. Other people can affect the development of another, because people become like who they are around. That's just the nurture part of development. develop their morals, their likes, their dislikes, stuff like that, especially the parents and their siblings. Strategies: ask your child what they would want to do in certain situations and try to correct them and mold them at a young age what's right and wrong in that situation. Raise them in a good environment. If you know you don't live in the best neighborhood, keep them away from bad role models in the neighborhood and stuff like that. And be a good role model yourself. You want your child to be the best they can be, so make sure that you're showing them and leading them the way to do that. Erik Erikson's stages of development are certain phases of life where there'll be basic conflict throughout this stage. Stages are infancy, which is birth to 1 year old. The conflict will be trust versus mistrust. The next is toddlerhood from 1 to 3 years old, and that's autonomy versus shame and doubt. The next one is preschool, which is 36 years old, and the conflict is initiative versus guilt. And the next stage is school age, which is 6 to puberty, and the conflict is industry versus inferiority. And the next stage is adolescence, which is teens and 20s, and the basic conflict is identity versus role confusion. Next stage is young adulthood, which is intimacy versus isolation. Next stage is middle adulthood, which is the conflict is generativity versus stagnation, and the last one is late adulthood, which is 60s to death, is ego, integrity versus despair. And the one that I think is the most important is adolescence, because you're figuring out who you are with your identity and your role confusion, and that's just really, I think that's really important. Imprinting is when a species recognizes and finds out what they are or determines what they are. This theory supports attachment to an extent. Imprinting makes it so that the species knows who's to follow around and whatnot, and attachment keeps the baby close to its mother. So I guess the two are like in that sort, but humans do not imprint, they just attach, while other species do imprint. An ideal daycare for children would be, educational stimulation. They get to play around their peers, they get to see their parents, because that attachment, they don't like that stranger anxiety. They get to have snacks, food, toys, all that stuff. When I was younger, I hated going to daycare because it always be someone that I wasn't really close with, so I wasn't really attached to them, and my mother would just drop me off and leave me, and then I get kind of pissed off. So yeah, that's how that went. The different levels, Kohlberg's levels of moral thinking is just different ways you think once you get to a certain age or a certain stage. The first stage is the pre-conventional morality stage, which starts before age 9. They focus on self-interest, obey rules to avoid punishment, or to gain rewards. The second stage is conventional morality, is they uphold laws and rules to gain social approval or maintain social order. And then the post-conventional stage, which is adolescence and beyond, these actions will reflect their belief in basic rights and self-defined ethical principles. Alright, section 7, adolescence. So, adolescence poses a unique challenge to someone because everything's changing. Your body's changing, your hormones are changing, you're trying to discover yourself, and you want independence from your parents, but you know you're not there yet. So things get a little tricky for not only the parents, but the child there. the James Marcia theory, there are a couple different stages or statuses, if you will, of identity. So the first one is identity diffusion. It's a status in which the adolescent does not have a sense of having choices. And the second status, identity foreclosure, the adolescent is willing to commit to some roles or goals to conform to the expectations of others. Third status, identity moratorium, is it's like a status of crisis. They're exploring various roles or identities that they could choose from, or like commitments or goals, but have not yet really committed to any of them. And then the last status, identity achievement. The adolescent has made a commitment to the role or the identity, the person that they want to be. A personal example of this for me is playing football in college. I was in that identity diffusion stage where I thought that I had to with my parents. Then I was in that identity foreclosure phase. I said I wanted to because I wanted to conform to everybody's expectations. And then I was in that third stage. I wanted to play football, but there were some things holding me back that maybe didn't want to play football, and I didn't know which decision I wanted to make yet. And then I feel like I'm in that achievement stage now because I want to play at the next level, and I made that commitment by myself too. A couple times when I had my adolescent egocentrism is on gay rights. I believe that gays should have equal rights and stuff like that, and some people will tell me they don't, and I'll just like not be able to comprehend it all the way. And the time when I've experienced a personal fable, 8th grade was a time for me. I just thought I was too loud. I mean, I still think I'm like loud, but like I thought I was too loud. It was just, I felt like nobody else was like me. I felt like I could do anything and everything. And I also feel like I had that imaginary audience. When I walk into that lunchroom, I feel like everybody had their eyes on me. Really, I mean, some people look at me, but like not everybody. But I feel like everyone was looking at me. So that concludes my parental guidebook. I hope you're happy with it. I hope you found it very useful, got some information out of it, and I wish any parent who puts their child's life in my hands good luck.